What?
The casting couch. Oh, that one.
What?
You know what I'm talking about. Casting couch.
Yeah, the Pornhub couch.
Oh, cute guys.
Yeah.
17-pound native, best so far. Nice.
Well done.
That's a good fish.
She's a beaut. Clock. Picks her didn't happen.
What do you guys, all the people watching, what do you guys think of Stevens Marine new logo? Huge shout out to Stevens Marine sponsoring the live feed every week. What do you guys think of the new logo that they got down there? Whoa, boys, a little close there. If you guys are wondering what the heck's going on with this lovely table right here,
I feel very far away from the camera.
we're in show season right now, guys. We're in show season, so our live feed table is loaded up in the trailer.
There we go.
Whoa.
My close up.
Whoa.
Why are you doing that?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, the live feed table is loaded up into the trailer right now, so we don't have it. So we're improvising this week.
Yep.
Clint,
we're in
new
between
comments.
Shows. And for all of you that
Of
came
all
out
things.
and saw us.
Yeah, let's start with that. Stevens Marine is the best in the business. I'd have to agree.
I would agree.
Most definitely.
Dunk tank at the bash for Clint.
Oh, how do we make that happen?
That'd be it.
We are accepting donations right now for the dump tank. Actually, let's just use the trout pond. Like, how can we get a dump tank chair above the trout pond for Clint?
I think Jordan should
No, for
catch a
Clint.
trout.
It'll
in the
just be
pond and
it'll be
cook
like a
it.
pull cord. You don't even have to throw anything. You just grab the cord.
Oh, I like that idea.
Cook it
I
at
don't
the
think
show.
so.
Yeah.
I like that
Catch
idea
and
too.
cook at the show from the trout.
Brooke really wanted to take that
Nasty.
trout home that she
Yeah,
caught, and I'm
no
like,
thanks.
no. And then I found it in the back of the truck.
She brought him home anyway.
Yeah, I should have donated it to somebody who wanted to eat them.
I don't know if they'd be very good.
That's just it. You know?
I don't think so.
Everyone wants us to tase
Dana
Clint.
from Shayla's camera. Yeah. You're like, I need a thumbnail for tonight's live feed. I'm like, oh, we just caught one like 10 seconds ago. It was Dana who caught it. I'm like, here you go.
Bam.
There's your live feed. Yeah, I think I'd make a fortune to dunk Clint. If you guys know, at the Puyallup Bash, we tried to do Team Cameron, Team Clint. He lost so bad.
Kids get to slap Clint with the fish they catch at the trout pond.
Gosh, the idea of
If you guys come to our booth, we will let you get one slap in on Clint with
Keep
your
them
fish.
coming.
Ben-
Keep them coming, guys.
Ben's like, I'm on it. And if you know there's one guy in the world that can make something happen, getting a dunk tank at the Bash, Ben will do it. Oh, I'm the guy from Montana. Thank you for the show. Appreciate you guys.
Oh, that sucks. Hey, well, Josh, the bash isn't till next Thursday. So hopefully your boys will get better by then. I saw you say your kids are sick and you're not going to be able to make it tomorrow. If you guys didn't know, it's not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow.
It's next Thursday.
Next
We will not be there tomorrow.
Yeah, we will not be there
Guaranteed
tomorrow.
Not there tomorrow. Guaranteed, guys.
The bash is February 15th, folks. February 15th. We have
Hashtag
been,
slap Clint. This is a thing.
the tickets sold out, but we have been adding more and more tickets every day when they sell out. So
Okay, so
Go
is
get
that
'em.
what you did? Because
Yeah.
somebody messaged me and they're like, "Oh, the ticket bash," and I'm like, "Oh, dang it!" So I texted you and you're like, "Oh no, they're still for sale," and he's like, "No, they're not," and I'm like, "I don't know what to do here. You guys figure it out."
Middleman.
yeah,
he's
we've
a good
been
client of mine, so I told him like, "We'll just get you in. Like, we'll figure it out." Something will happen.
They've been selling out, but then I just been adding more.
Cool. How many of you
the
guys?
Sportsman Show people warned me about it. They said, I know you want to get as many people in there as you can, but it's going to get to like a fire hazard issue. And I'm like, well, you better figure it out.
Well, they didn't even have enough seats in the Puyallup. That we used every chair that they had.
How many of you guys out there, while you're tuning in and telling us where you're tuning in from, let us know if you went to the Puyallup show and let us know if you went to the Bash. Let's start that. See if there's a few guys that went to the Bash last Saturday in Puyallup. I think my voice is still like recovering, like a little bit.
Yeah,
Today it
really
actually
hit me
sounds
till
pretty
Monday.
good.
Yeah, after Monday, I could kind of feel it. It kicked in.
Like you were going down
Yeah, I was
or
going
getting down?
downhill.
Oh,
Like,
great.
for some
Get away
reason.
from me.
No,
Son of a
not
bitch.
sick wise. Just like I could tell my voice was much more hoarse like Monday morning than I could on Sunday.
Okay. Oh. It's not like you're not getting sick.
No, I'm feeling great, dude. I'm young and spry.
Fever couch. What did the show? Slap Clint. What did the five fingers say to the face? Did nobody really go to the Bash? How many people we got tuning in tonight, guys? We're going to do a little different live feed. We're going to talk a little bit about the Portland shows. Almost got 300 of you in, so you guys need to be sharing this out. We're going to talk some wild steelhead. 'Tis the season. 'Tis the season. They are out and about.
Wilds are here.
There's plenty of fish around. Just about every dang river's got them. Let's see here. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the Portland show. What's coming up there? Some surprises as well. It was a party. Clint was drunk. Clint was very
Happy.
happy.
I was loose.
Excited.
He
Very
was
loose.
He did. He cut loose.
Very loose. Very loose.
He
making
hopped
it rain, spinning glows.
He hopped on the
was
good foot,
great.
Did the bad thing.
Okay, so we do have some people that came.
People like that. Joaquin, you were there, dude? I didn't even see you, bud. Dang. I went to the Pulp. I missed the bash, but I did buy some new stuff from y'all. Thank you, Jim. At the bash came from Lincoln, Washington. Port Angeles, Washington. The bash was awesome. Yes,
We got to
it
make sure that
was.
you could. It was people were cheering so loud you couldn't even hear the "Make It Rain." We played
Yeah.
Little Wayne "Make It Rain" as we were
As they were throwing
the
spinning gloves. What's so funny is we didn't say what they were, and so the guy the client that I had on the boat today, he's like, I didn't know what you guys were throwing. If you're throwing hooks or jig heads or something, and I'm like, what? Like Jared from Yakima, mate. I know, Jared.
Something.
For those that don't know, there might have been a moment in the show where we had 6,000 spinning gloves generously donated. Wow, that took some. Generously donated from Yakima, mate, and Jared. We split them up into boxes, and we had Little Wayne, Let It Rain playing, and started just Make It Rain. Just started throwing spinning gloves all over the freaking place.
We had people on each edge of the crowd, and then me and Big Dave going right down the center, just
It was literally from all angles.
just
6,000 spinning gloves, and for those, like, there's definitely going to be a repeat performance, and it probably is going to be bigger for Portland. Just going to leave it at that.
Just gonna say that.
That was the
Naturally,
funniest.
it's
It
just
was
Word on the
hilarious.
block is we're gonna have 10,000 spin glows in Portland.
Word on the block is we're
Whoa.
gonna have 10,000. And what's funny is, like, I was in the back talking, and like everyone like picked them up. I turned around, I'm like, there's still like $500 in spin gloves on the floor. Like, right? What the hell?
Sweep them up.
No, Cam's not drunk. Cam's tired. Cam's rode the last 3 days.
There was a
I'm getting
guy
tired.
right behind me that was literally like grabbing every spin glow behind me as I was walking backwards. And at one point, I looked down and his head's he's crawling between my legs, grabbing these spin glows. It was
As they were
crazy.
falling.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Nothing but water. I
Wait
need
till
it.
you
'Cause
see
my
the
voice
slow
is done.
motion video Alex got of Dave. It's hilarious.
Like throwing
spin
yeah,
glows.
because Dave was
God.
dancing to the music of Make It Rain. So he was
God.
like, Make It Rain. And Alex got the most
God, it just
hilarious video.
slow. Oh, perfect.
And then when we get to the end, Dave's like, turn around, look at the camera.
People went wild when they saw what they were. Need a promo cannon? Ben, I think we might need to talk about that.
That would be fun.
That would be fun.
We talked about that
Because
before.
I will
Perfect.
shoot Clint guaranteed.
That would be
First
hilarious.
shot will be point blank.
That would be so funny if we had
Is
one
he
of those.
talking a t-shirt guy?
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
t-shirt cannon. That'd be hilarious.
Promo
Yeah, because it'd be
cannon.
super safe because you could, especially in Portland, the ceiling's high enough, you could just shoot them straight
I
up
wish-
and literally make it rain.
That's crazy.
We're going to be talking, Richard, that's cool. Biggest steelhead you guys ever caught. We'll talk about that because we're going to talk a lot about wild steelhead tonight. So we got this weekend here between the shows. We're going to talk about landing, kind of the ethics involved with chasing steelhead, what to do, what not to do. It's not just going to be about like handling wild steelhead, but maybe like different techniques on how to fish them. Just some good suggestions, and hopefully it'll get you guys keyed in on targeting them a little better and with a little better gear. Like right now, it's just the time of year where you just had a little bit of rain. Southwest Washington, they are, like I said, in every river. Every river that's every
Man,
river.
they look awesome.
Yes.
Every river that's open's got them in it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I know Cam already said this, guys, but I see a lot of comments. Everyone saying, I got this at the show. I got this at the show. Thank you guys so much who came out and spent money. Our booth was like just popping the whole time we were there. It was absolutely amazing. So thanks so much, everyone that came to the show. It was killer.
I'm excited for Portland.
What's the deal with Portland? Because I feel like we didn't do a good job with the apparel thing. There wasn't very many raffle tickets in that box. Tell
Dude,
people
I
what.
was filling those things out Saturday. Like,
Tell people what it is.
yeah, no kidding.
Because I don't know if we did it. I got a flyer made this time.
But you know what? That's okay that we didn't do a very good job. You want to know why?
Because
Because all the people in Portland now have a chance to win. So one thing we're going to do, guys, at the Portland show is if you guys are wearing any addicted apparel into the show, you're going to automatically be entered if you come up to the booth, show your addicted shirt, hat, whatever. We're looking for you guys out there. Drop your phone number, your name into a box, and you guys can win a guided trip for 4. We're going to make it an Addicted Life episode, and I think we're letting you guys kind of choose what you want to do, and then we're going to figure out the details after that, whether you want it to be a Buoy 10, Spring Chinook, Steelhead, I don't know.
Pretty cool.
Kind of like whatever you guys want to do.
It's pretty
Bottomfish, ocean coho. Maybe you guys want to go over and do some east fishing. I don't know. Like,
and all you got to
sockeye?
do is wear addicted apparel to
Wear
the
it.
Pacific Northwest Sportsman Show and walk around, wear apparel. You can even come to our booth, buy a sweatshirt,
Put it on.
and put it on.
Yep.
And we're still going to let you fill out a raffle ticket.
I heard a radio ad called out meet and greet with ADX at the show. Yep, Kevin, we will all be there. We'll all be there.
Way to go.
I saw another one. Does the bait towel count, Justin? Only if you wear it as a loincloth. Yeah, that's only if you wear it as a loincloth and
I think you might have
nothing
just
more.
started something there.
Now that I've said that, that could actually get scary.
Yeah. I was
Oh,
gonna
boy.
happen.
Who's gonna
What
do
are we
it?
gonna- what
Clint's
are we
gonna
gonna
do it by
see
the
in
time
Portland?
the bash is over.
Yeah.
Don't say that for a show in
Well,
Portland.
for the dunk tank.
Yeah, just a couple bait towels. Perfect.
Yeah.
One long skinny one.
Yeah.
Guys, we do not have the nets yet. I'm sorry.
But we're going to talk about them.
We have 2 more. We have 2 right now in existence. This is one of them. Someday we'll get them. Who knows when?
Yo, Dan from Sacramento. See you guys next week. Can't wait to meet you all. I'm imagining it's meet you all. That would be awesome to win a trip with you guys. Cool stuff.
Yeah, we had people
Chinook.
flew out from Salt Lake City to come to the other bash in Puyallup.
I knew it, Cam.
Wow.
I'll try not to
Yeah.
disappoint.
Literally just to come to the bash.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Excellent
really
bash.
great people.
So those that went to the bash, okay, we appreciate you guys tuning in and telling us like how it went. If we had to change one thing with the bash, what would it be? What would you guys want to see other than what you saw? Like, we want to make these things, we want to build them, we want to make them bigger, we want to make them better. You know, maybe we do
Thanks,
multiple
Dwayne.
nights next
Thank you,
year.
Dwayne.
I don't know. But if you guys wanted to see something else, or if we missed the mark here, let us know too, because we want to make these things as, I mean, not that they weren't awesome, but I feel like it was 9.5 out of 10. Let's make it 10 out of 10. Give us your suggestions if you got it. If not, say everything was perfect, that was sick. We'll show up every year and we'll just keep doing them like that. Whatever you want to see. Yep. Just bought my bash ticket. See you on the 15th. We'll see you there, Shane. Flying in from Colorado Springs to go to Portland. This is
Nice, Matt.
Yeah, Matt. Plane tickets to the show. Blake says Les Clint. Yes, I love Blake. There we go. Clint not talking so much. That's from 2 different people. Oh
Wow.
my goodness. This is so fantastic. This is like you guys.
I like how
Don't-
he's putting them up really quick and then taking them down.
Yeah. Oh, one in Southern Oregon, dude. You Southern Oregon guys, dude, we got to. Like, you guys represent every live feed.
We will have one at the Central Oregon Sportsman Show.
Yep.
So if you guys want to come over from there, we will be.
Addicted banana hammocks.
We'll be at the Central Oregon
Cheaper
Sportsman
beer,
Show.
indeed.
What did he say? Oh, cheaper beer. That's
Cheaper
not
beer.
us. That's not
That's
us.
just a trend for a sports show.
I know. You go to a sports show, it's what to be expected. You guys going to be at the Sportsman Show at Portland?
Yes, indeed.
We have like
D.
18
Morris.
booths total between all of us. No, I'm kidding. Clint was great. Okay, one guy. What did you guys all think of the wave?
You guys, when we are joking, when we're making fun of Clint, we're joking.
Dude,
It is a 100%
It is.
joke. Yes, does Cam sometimes take it too far? That's a fact, but it is a joke.
but I will say this.
It is a
I will-
100% joke. Clint gives us just as much shit. You guys just don't see it.
I will say this though, and this is actually kind of bad, and this happens a lot, and I'm going to give Clint a lot of props. Like for the few of the clients that watch the live show, like they get about like it'll come up like, do you and Clint like really hate each other that much?
You guys really get
And I'm like, oh yeah, I can't stand him. I go, I've tried to fire him. No, I'm like, no, like that's like a shtick we have. We're good buddies. I actually kind of like hanging out with Clint. I think he kind of likes hanging out with me. I don't know. Wish we could hang out more. You
Bring
know.
in my boat to your garage.
I'm gonna like outfit and put a bunch. I'm gonna drill a bunch of holes in his boat. I might drill a couple through the hole. but you know,
Brand new.
brand new. I want to see Cam do a lure painting demo. That'd be very hard there. Jokes are great. When is the Central Oregon Bash? The wave was dumb. Sorry, Clint.
The wave was dead.
Where does it say that?
Up top, it just go
It didn't
out.
say dumb. It said it was cool.
What? No.
Yeah, go
Go
up.
up. The wave was
Oh
dumb.
shit, go up more. Right there.
The wave was pretty great. Oh, the next one down. The wave was
Another
dumb.
guy said something that the wave was
Oh.
good. Damn, I wish
It's
this
the
was a touch screen. Wave was very cool. See?
Yeah. Wave's fun. I don't know.
I thought
Mixed
it was fun.
reviews.
I thought
Mixed
it was fun.
reviews, sure.
You don't have to wait. You don't have to do it.
You keep
I don't
saying
know.
the Bash is the
Pretty hard
15th,
to,
and
pretty
it is
easy
the
to feel left
16th.
out about that.
Oh,
I think you're right on that. I think it is this. It is
Yeah.
the 16th.
Yep,
The,
it's the
the
16th.
show does start the 15th.
The show starts
we
the
do
15th.
have. I put out a bunch of stuff. We do have seminars on like Wednesdays and Thursday, and I think Friday. Some of us are doing seminars too, like during the show. But that's when we're talking the Bash. We're talking about the ticketed event on Thursday night.
yeah, make sure you guys look at the seminar schedule, guys, because the Sportsman Show has done a great job at putting together just a lot of really good seminars. Me and Jordan are doing one. Cam's doing one on 360 fishing. Pop-Off and Big Dave are doing one. There's a lot of really good seminars there, so make sure you guys check out their seminar schedule.
The brats were tasty too.
Those brats weren't bad.
Addicted Express Pass line. If you bought tickets to the show, guys, that will not happen again.
It was Clint's
It was
fault.
a giant line waiting to get in. We found some bottlenecks. We figured our stuff out, and then we got you guys in. That will not happen in Portland. But is there anybody going to both bashes?
Oh,
Anybody
yeah.
going to some?
yeah, I'm
some
sure.
guys were like going to Thursday night. Oh crap!
Yeah, because remember, guys, you can
Yeah.
get a ticket to win the pedal drive kayak at either bash. So if you went to Puyallup, you could get a ticket. If you come to Portland, you could also get a ticket. Y'all quit yawning. This is funny. So I have a friend that
We
loves.
do.
Listen though, I have a friend that loves our show. Like loves it. He watches it all the time. He said the worst thing he hates more than anything is when he sees us yawn.
Dude,
Because
you
he
gotta
said it
realize.
makes him tired.
You gotta realize.
I try to hide it a lot with
Right.
my hat built.
You guys,
sometimes.
we on because these are long ass days. I know you and I rode. Did you row today?
No, I hiked.
You hiked today. Like you should be filming.
Mhm.
Yeah, so Jordan's out filming, hiking early in the morning. Jason and I were out rowing at daylight. Like, these are, and then I came home. You got to get ready for fishing tomorrow.
Yep.
I had to go to my son's basketball game. Burn over here. Like, we put out,
It's a
we
process.
try to put out. So we do apologize. We're not, you guys aren't boring us. Jordan's kind of boring, but, you know, like, I mean, he kind of bores us, but like, we're not yawning because anything, like, we're not disengaged. We're not anything. So we're sorry.
It's pure exhaustion.
It's pure like we're gonna go home, get the pellet, wake up, and then do it again tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Because the water level's like mint.
No, guys. So you can enter at both shows. You
High
can enter at
five.
both
Till
shows. So
tomorrow.
we will not draw the raffle until after the Portland show. We will probably draw it right here live on this show.
That's a good call. Yeah. Couple other announcements. How many people we got tuned in here right now, Clint? I think we missed last week. We only got almost 330 of you guys. So nobody really said any other suggestions at the bash. I think we're gonna do a little more Q and
I
A,
didn't
get
see
you
any.
guys, get the crowd more involved. And you got anything else at the Sportsman Show? Any other cool specials you want to talk about? Cam offering
$5
excuses
beyond.
naturally. Shut up.
Yeah, there's I mean, guys, we have lots of deals, lots of stuff at the booth, lots of new things. If you guys didn't, I mean, I've been talking about it for weeks now, but we will have lots of deals, lots of new.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's new sweatshirts, new
I upset some
T-shirts,
people.
tons of new hats.
He's boring.
It's crazy. We have a lot of new stuff there, guys. We have our custom plugs, which we're selling crazy the whole time. We made sure that we kept a bunch for Portland, so there will be the limited edition drop plugs there, limited edition beads.
A smoking section.
Well, luckily this one you can go out the door.
Yeah. Do you know where it's at? Is it the same
place.
same setup as they did? Oh my gosh.
I don't see how that could be.
We
a
got to
fire
go hook
issue.
up. We got to go hook up Mark and those guys at England Marine last year. Were
Yeah, we won't have to
awesome.
this year because we didn't have to turn off the lights.
I know, but like it was really loud. Yeah.
Addicted beer.
Yeah, no kidding.
Kolsch. Cold water Kolsch.
Thank you, Brent,
Was there
for
a
the
Kolsch
super
here?
chat.
No, I'm just saying that.
Thank you, thank you.
Beer.
Yeah. I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
You got me on them. I look for a Kolsch every time I go to like any beer store. IPA.
There was this one the other day. It was a
Terrible.
rogue honey Kolsch.
Oh, that'd be good.
Oh, it was wonderful.
That kind of sounds good. That sounds pretty tasty.
It had a
You guys gonna be in the same
killer
spot?
whale on it.
I need to look for that one. You guys gonna be in the same spot? Absolutely.
Our booth in Chihuahua was in a different spot. Now. We were one.
It was one aisle over, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if they moved us or Dwayne.
No, they moved
I
up.
didn't know. I just know that we were together.
But
last
in
year.
Portland, we'll be in the exact same spot, guys. We actually have the entire row. It's Addicted, Cam, Popoff, Big Dave, Mustad, all in the exact same aisle.
Dang.
Oh, Big Dave did move?
Yep.
He
We
moved to us?
finally drew him
That's
over.
what I was told.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I don't know what he told you about not moving. Like, that was the whole plan for
Nobody ever told me nothing. I just didn't know if he'd always
That
been in the
road
same
Kolsch
spot.
is so good.
Yeah, it is really good. I'm thirsty.
It is. Cam drinks them on his boat. Shut the hell up.
No, he doesn't because that's illegal.
Oh. Boat ramp, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh. Good. So Big Dave won't be on the opposite end. No.
And he's
No.
bringing a fish. He's got a 20
He's got a
pound
couple
steelhead.
fish, is what Nick told me.
Yeah, you didn't do that last year.
He's got a couple fish. Dude, it's going to be so fun. I'm bringing flipping rods.
For a twiddle toss?
Maybe.
Nice.
After hour total toss.
That's killer. Or we'll just bust him out midday right in the aisle.
Oh,
When it's
just
not
freaking
busy,
start
just
sending half
be
out
like,
straight.
car, and then we'll move him back when all the people come, and then we'll be like, game on, and we'll slide him back out. Yeah, we have to.
Yeah, we need a Jordan cookbook.
Yes, and so we're going to do some pretty cool stuff, you guys, too. Marlon and I are going to make a little menu plan. So each day, right around lunchtime, it's not going to be a sampling type of cooking seminar, but I'll be making a lunch, something cool, something with wild game and or fish every day at the Sportsman Social. If you're there anytime around midday and you want to come down and watch, we're hoping to draw a little crowd for that. So everybody can sit and watch me whip up some good food. Maybe you can take some of it home as far as the menu. And
They can't eat it.
no, the
Exhibitors can,
Yeah,
though.
we'll be able to eat it. Yeah, it'll be for us, but you guys can at least learn the recipe. Maybe I'll have it written down in front of me exactly what I'm using. And another little
I got an idea. Anyways,
air fryer.
we'll talk.
It's got something to do with an air fryer. I know it.
Damn right it does. Damn right it does.
I'm down with that.
I saw that. When does the storefront open? I need a trip to Washington. I think in spring, isn't it, Marlon? Kind of still. Is that still in the works?
Yeah.
Those poor
Spring.
ladies are still in there.
Spring.
Spring.
That's all we're gonna say. Don't say anything else.
Spring.
Yeah.
Summer.
We're
Actually,
hoping.
Actually, summer. Summer.
Yeah. We're hoping like early summer. That's our plan.
Summer. Retail. Yeah. I'm ready for springers. Who isn't? Okay. Let's
Smell-o-vision.
see. We need to do a giveaway. Let's do a giveaway. Let's start this thing off. What do you
Sure.
think, Marlino? You got anything cool? We got tickets to the bash.
Yeah, let's do
Do
that.
a couple. How about?
Let's do 2 sets of 2. Pick 2
Ken,
winners.
did you catch that February spring? No, I'm not going till February 27th. That's the day I will go.
Feb 27.
And then Nick. I already clarified this at the Pulp Show. Nick's buying my gas.
Okay.
Yeah, because he said I wouldn't go. But I'm like, I'll go give it a whole day effort on the 27th. Or is it a leap year? No, it ain't a leap year. 27th. Yep, the last day of February, I'm going.
I thought the 28th.
It's the 28th.
I'll give February 29th. 28th. I'm going the 28th, actually.
There you go. All right. Better check the calendar on that
I'm
one.
going to check the calendar. Whatever.
28th is the last day.
I'm going like the last day. No, I'm going the
What did that
27th.
say?
No, I am going the 27th. I can't go the 28th. Yeah, there we go.
What'd that say? Like, just pick up some Coors. This one's for you, Luigi.
Let's start that.
Who's Hannah?
I don't know.
Oh.
Mhm.
She's drinking a beer for you.
Cal, let me ride with you
I didn't know
on
that
the
was
27th. Yeah, I'll probably throw out a couple seats on the 27th. Go get my gear all dialed up, and then I'll put it away for 3 more weeks, and before I even try it again. Be great. Oh, let's see. Bring on the springers, since I can't get any Steelhead to play. When's the new merch on the website? New merch will happen if there is any available after Portland.
There'll be. We made enough to make sure.
Okay.
So there'll be a spring drop online. Also, everyone asking for plugs. Don't worry. We will be saving
Mark
some of
Lindsay.
those limited plugs for people online. I got tons of messages from people in Alaska and the Midwest and all those areas sad that they couldn't buy the plugs. But don't worry. We will have ones online in the online drop sometime in March, early March, guys.
Awesome, Ryan. Thanks for tuning in. Cool comment there that Clint doesn't want to pin. What is better, crab at buoy 10 on Saturday or Springer fishing up crab? Well, I mean, the commercials are in, but you can still get them 5 3/4 or 6 1/4. It won't be crazy good, but crab.
My neighbor went
How'd he do?
a couple days ago and he smashed them.
Yeah, I'd go crabbing.
Yeah.
Before I go Springer fishing.
Ooh, crap.
Has anyone caught one yet? Normally by now someone's caught one.
I'm really surprised no one. So I've seen
I've
a
heard
couple
I've heard
posts
a
and we
couple.
heard things, but like, I kind of call BS because like Fisherman's Marine is literally giving a $200 gift card
Yeah.
for like the first one checked in. So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I understand everyone wants to keep like secrets and stuff, but if you catch one, if you busted one right now, I'm like walking into fishing, $200 is still like $200. Like that's not.
I guarantee someone's caught them in the Willamette. There's
but do they
always that
not
early
know?
run
There
of
was one
springers.
posted already on the Willamette.
I was gonna say I thought I saw a post.
I seen one on a wild. I seen one on a sandy beach, which was like way in California, which I still think that was a fall fish. I don't care what anybody's thinks, but I've never seen one spotted that early.
Yeah.
But
Dude,
it's all good.
Dude,
What, dude? What?
dude.
What's going on?
that's super loud. Like him moving his zipper is louder than you guys talking.
Sorry.
Come on, Luigi.
Okay. All right, guys. Let us know if you're coming to the Portland Bash. How many of you guys are in here, or if you went to the Puyallup Bash, whatever. We're going to give away 2 tickets. And if you are unable to, if you win and you're still on here and you chime in, we will do something
someone
different.
else.
We'll do another giveaway here at the end of the show.
We'll have multiple giveaways.
We'll have multiple giveaways as always, but I think we need to probably get into. Oh, we got to do the bash first. So answer the question first, and then we'll get ready here in a couple seconds.
Marlon overcooks his elk steak. F off, Aaron.
That's for sure. I agree. But
I-
at least he shares it.
I
That's all
like
that
my
matters.
meat
Yeah.
cooked.
Doesn't matter whether he cooks it or not. At least he shares it with his friends.
And like I said,
I
know-
got wrecked. I got so many comments on that one.
You're like, I
What'd
like
you
my
do?
elk meat cooked, and I'm like,
What'd you do?
I apparently overcooked my steaks. They were good
Was it in the
still.
last video?
Yeah, like 2 videos ago.
but the BLTs now.
The BLTs with the freaking
Oh my
wild
God, it
boar
was so
bacon
good.
was unreal.
I've never been like
I
the
haven't had any of
biggest
that other
like
stuff yet.
freak out guy
Yeah, me
over
either.
BLTs, but man, I'd make that every day. I'm on a sandwich kick right now.
Yeah.
We have a little corner store in our hometown, me and Cameron, that makes the best sandwiches. I'm just
Have you
addicted
had
to
their
them now.
pizza?
No, but I saw it finally. Saw it got brought out.
Pizza's the best pizza
Yeah.
going around.
That guy said he went. The Bash was the best purchase for 2023 he's made by far.
Nice.
Yeah. Rock on.
Guys, I really want as many of you at this Bash as possible. So if you have not gotten tickets, I saw someone asking how I'm in shape. I'm not in shape. I got a fat belly because I eat candy and sweets and
winter,
snacks all
okay?
the time.
Do you like chewing leather?
That's the nice thing about elk is it doesn't really. It's hard to make it tough. It's all the backstrap's just so tender even when you do cook it all the way through.
When did we cook it? It was recently, right?
I cooked one recently, me and Colt.
Oh.
I cooked whitetail and elk.
Can we have a Springer leaderboard?
That's what they're talking
going?
about.
I'll do it any day, but I don't start till like the 24th of March. There's too much of stuff going on.
Do you do any shakedown cruises, like people wanting to learn early?
So I have 1 week. I'm either after all our Steelhead close on the 16th. That following week, I'm going elsewhere for Steelhead for the whole week. But if it blows out, I will.
Little ginger.
Little ginger Joe Dirts.
Yeah.
Someone said if they pictured Jordan having kids, they'd be a bunch of little Joe Dirts.
There was a couple of them. There, all the little guys with mullets out there. God bless your parents' hearts for letting you awesome little fisherman dudes with the mullets come hanging out at our booth. I love seeing it.
How do I get tickets? www.addicted.fishing.
I can't
Cam, let's talk Springer. Dude, shoot me an email. Go to my website.
D. Morris says, I received
else.
more free stuff at the Puyallup Bash than I paid for the VIP tickets. Love the event.
Oh,
That's awesome.
sick.
I know that was my favorite part of it when Marlon took the time at the very end to ask everybody who did not catch anything or scoop anything up off the floor. And literally every single person at the bash, we brought enough stuff somehow that everybody there got some sort of fishing tackle or shirt
for free
or
That's
something.
cool.
They all got
That's
to take
big.
something home with them. I thought that was really, really cool. And well done, Marlon.
Considering there's over
And-
600 of you, that's a hell of a feat.
That
Yeah.
is really
Yeah.
cool.
And
That's a
thanks
lot
to
of
all the
stuff.
sponsors, because the sponsors really came out and gave us a lot of stuff. So, guys, when we say we give away thousands of items at these bashes, we're not kidding.
And let that
We
be
like-
said, we do have a lot of like set in stone sponsors, but if you're a growing company or something and you want to donate to a good cause and see some kids get some free fishing tackle and stuff, it's correct me if I'm wrong, but it's an open forum. Come donate some stuff the night of the bash if you want it to get thrown out, or if you're just a vendor at the show and you got some cool bait towels or whatever, come on down and get your name out there and be part of a really cool thing.
I can't believe how many people have never been to a bash.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I like asking those questions.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I'd say it was not 50-50.
Yeah, there were some hands for
Well,
sure.
it's always been so hard. Every time we ever do anything in Washington, the Sport Co events, it's just a really hard place to get to for a lot of people in the Puget Sound. And so I think that might be our biggest hurdle. And like the Sportsman show kind of helped us get over that. It was on Saturday, finally. It was a day people could go, and it was, in a location, and a lot of people from the Puget Sound area could actually drive to without being stuck in traffic for 4 hours.
Yeah,
so.
pretty centralized.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah.
tickets
Only-
are not
yeah.
sold out. I saw BMAC asking. No, guys, you guys can still get bash tickets on our website right now.
Is the tall guy going to be at Portland?
Yes,
He is.
Jared
Do
will
we
be
have a
there.
challenger? That was awesome.
Jared will be there
So
from
funny.
Yakima Bait. We also have a bunch of our other sponsors showing up. Scott's going to be there from Brad's Fishing. We have Jason Hambley coming from Procure. A bunch of our sponsors will be there as well.
Oh,
guys.
we're going to put him on blast.
It's gonna
Is Fish
be-
U- how'd the Fish USA guys like you?
They thought it was
A lot of
insane.
guys some inside baseball right now. It's pretty
The
cool.
Fish USA guys were blown away and just stoked to be a part of the Northwest fishing
come to
community. They can't come to Portland. That's why they came to Puyallup.
Got it. My first bash next week coming up from NV, assuming Nevada.
No way.
Pretty sick. Sportsman show was cool. The bash was freaking awesome. And like the other guy said, the wife and I walked out with more free stuff than the cost of it. Cool. That's very cool, Paul. But it was so close, but he was still the tallest dude there. Yeah, I think we're gonna do the Jared challenge. That guy stood up. It
If
was
you're
like,
not
oh,
on
it's gonna be a fight.
probation. This guy says if you're not on probation, that just means you're not living life to the fullest.
Oh.
Depends on what you're on probation for. Herzog will be at the show. I don't know if he'll be at the bash or not. We invited him, told him to come. So we'll see.
Yeah, sorry, Brian. I'll chill. Puyallup area still sucks. Yeah. Wish they could throw out some shows on the peninsula, Mike. No way. No. Well, there'd be a few Steelheaders there, but that'd be it. That'd be it. Okay. Let's do our, just pick a winner, and if you can't, if you don't want the tickets, we'll pay it forward to somebody else. How about that?
Bam.
Michael Hutchinson, he said, give away VIP tickets. Well, maybe you can use some tickets, but we got you down, and we will hook you up.
Yeah, Michael, make sure you please shoot us an email to orders@addicted.fishing. Make sure you include your name and let us know that you won 2 bash tickets, and then we'll get you on a list at the door to get in.
That's right.
Also, guys, we did this at Puyallup, but if you want, you can come to our booth and get pre-stamped. We will be stamping your wrists at the booth with a stamp that'll get you right in to the bash.
Yep.
So you can come by the booth and we'll pre-stamp you if any of you guys bought tickets.
So you don't have to wait in line, but the line will not be soon. Any Cali bashes in the work? I don't know, Andrew. When can we go catch a freaking yellowfin?
Yeah, we need to get to other places. We'd like to get to the Midwest. And
Are you guys ready for springers? Yes. You survived Puyallup so far. Just pick me, free ticks. Congrats. Let's go. What are we talking about tonight?
Wild steelhead.
Wild steelhead.
Handling
Wild
wild
steelhead
steelhead.
and how to touch them.
Let's
How to touch it.
how can you touch them without getting in trouble?
Yes.
That's
Ooh,
always
there you
key.
go.
Ooh,
That's key.
how can you touch a wild steelhead?
The ethically correct way to handle a wild steelhead. There we go. How about that?
Let's start with a little round
One
robin.
hand or two.
Let's talk about it and why is it important? What's the deal? Like, because at the end of the day, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I just wanted to explain that to Brian. So, Brian, the reason we had a bottleneck at the line is because we didn't really have the raffle tickets figured out. So what was happening is people were coming in, they were taking too long to fill out their raffle tickets, so it was bottlenecking the line. So in Portland, we will have a way better system, which is why all of a sudden you saw like everyone just flood in, because we finally just said, you know what, screw it, fill out your raffle tickets when you're sitting down and come into the bash.
And
so
how we fix that is actually we put tables on the outside with the raffle tickets coming in. Anyways,
we did that last
Moving
time.
on.
We did that the first time. It's still bottleneck at all the bashes. We just need to give people their raffle ticket and tell them to sit. We need to have 2,000 pins. And just give people a pin.
Oh, and by the way, yeah.
I will make sure we have addicted pins. When you walk in, you'll get your raffle ticket and your pin, and you can drop your thing in the bucket anytime.
There we go.
That's how we're going to do it. So sorry if you had to wait in line again. We apologize.
That's all good.
It was our first time doing that with that many people.
But those that showed up, all those gals that had their purses that showed up with the pens, when I said anybody who has a pen now gets a free hat. We need pens. Like, they came out of the woodworks.
Here you go. Here you go.
Fast.
Yeah, and then it went much faster. So we appreciate you guys. Okay.
Why not turn off?
Now we're gonna have to chill on the show talk. We'll do another show rally here in just a minute. How many people do we got watching there, Clint? Make sure everyone's tuned in. Okay, we almost got 400 of you. Now we're rolling, guys.
There we go.
Okay. Let's do.
Okay.
Why is it important? We're catching wild steelhead right now. You catching wild steelhead right now? You catching wild steelhead right now?
Mm-hmm.
You catching true wild steelhead right now?
No.
Catching big what? No? You're not catching true wild steelhead right now?
They've been stocking hatchery fish in these rivers since the 60s.
Oh my gosh, we're
Yeah.
not going there.
They've been stocking hatchery fish in
Okay,
these rivers since
let's
the
talk
60s.
about
There's an
Steelhead.
ad post spin on them.
Steelhead that there may not be a hatchery run in that river, and you are catching steelhead that just happen to be there, some way or form
Yeah.
or another.
Yeah,
Is
there's
that
a
what
lot
Clint-
of wilds around right now for sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot
A
of
lot
fish
of
that were
unclipped
born
hatchery
in the
fish.
gravel.
Born in the
Let's just say
gravel,
that.
or not clipped from the hatchery.
Right.
A few.
Right.
I think we should start that.
Yeah.
Complete hatchery stocks that aren't clipped. Catch and release brood stock program.
That's what I. Oh God, no, we're not going here. We're going to talk about wild steelhead because that's what the wild fish idiots will sit there and accuse. You just want to kill fish, like use the wild so you can make hatcheries. Like no, like vent clip them and put them back, and so those fish can come back, and we know which ones not to select for the hatchery and let them go to gravel, so we actually have a decent run that you guys don't have to study to death and get grants for, and basically suck up a bunch of money for,
And that will actually
and
produce.
basically create a bunch of problems to justify your freaking existence. Weird.
Weird.
See, look what you did.
I didn't do anything. That was this man.
Yeah. Causing problems.
Zipper sound.
Causing problems.
A springer went over the dam.
Springer went over the dam. Cam, let's talk. We will
Time
talk.
to go every day. If you guys are steelhead fishing, get to the Columbia. Start springer fishing every single day.
Springer.
Get off all the rivers.
100%.
There's no
Get
wild
after
steelhead
it.
anyway. There's a springer over the dam though.
Yep.
Let it out, Cameron.
Get
We're
Let
just
it
talking
out.
about it for
Start
fun.
trolling.
Oh
Start
my
setting
gosh.
on.
We didn't like talk about wild like. Yeah, I'm seeing all these great comments, and we're not.
This is a
we're
squirrel
not-
night.
Yeah.
Squirrel. Squirrel. And we're over here.
So,
Okay, what are we talking
what are you experiencing right now there? I know you've been up floating some real wild stuff.
Yeah, I've been floating some real wild stuff and have been impressed. You know, a couple times that Marlon and I fished, like where we did the last Addicted Life video. It was really fun to see. I mean, we had a good day. I think we ended up hooking 5 or 6, 7, which is phenomenal.
Check your numbers.
Check your numbers, which is phenomenal for any kind of river around here that is
If I got
considered
7,
a gene
if I
bank,
hooked 7 every day, I went steelhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was very impressed, and we hadn't been in a while, so I think a lot of it is some areas aren't seeing a ton of pressure because we do see a lot of fish, or we are seeing a lot of fish in different rivers, and especially rivers with hatchery runs. So you're not just getting all the pressure blockaded on the wild steelhead runs, which is amazing to see. So it takes a little bit of pressure off each one of those wild runs and all those systems that have those wild fish. But and if so facto, no matter what, we still need to make sure we're taking the right care of them.
Right.
And if I don't know if you guys saw in the last episode, we even got the opportunity to take scale samples off each one of these fish. And once they hit that net, once we had them secure in our
Someone
landing
called
net.
me on that.
What's that?
Someone called me who's been around the block like a long time, and he's like, "I'd be careful collecting those scale samples."
Well, we already have gene banks, so we'll talk about that.
Anyways,
But-
my point was we got these fish in these addicted landing nets. Literally, probably messed around with them less time than we would have if we were trying to take a good picture. Honestly, let's be real. We didn't take a lot of time to take the photos of
We
these
didn't really
fish.
take pictures.
We took the scale samples off these things. The fish never flinched, never kicked. I think that's the most impressive part about properly handling a wild steelhead and being calm when you are doing it. Because the fish, I mean, it's a little hippy dippy, but the fish feels your vibes. If you're freaking out, if you're yelling, if you're running around and splashing, those fish are going to try to get away. But if everybody's calm, we get them in those landing nets. It was so neat to see all three of those fish that we caught, how calm they were and how collected. And we just took our samples, opened the net, and let the thing swim away.
Well, and the thing,
And
it's
that
called
was
a
proper
it's
handling.
called a cradle because it cradles it like a baby. Which, if anyone knows, when you cradle a baby, it kind of calms down and wants to go to sleep, stop crying.
Right, we're getting
Same concept.
Yep.
Go ahead. What? We're getting what?
way ahead.
Oh.
But
Jordan always freaking does that.
No,
dude.
keep going. No, we're good. We're good.
He loves to get way ahead.
But there's a lot of fish around.
Yep.
And we're doing scale sampling.
Mhm.
Well, let's talk about that. So, like, one of the things, like right now, and this goes like right into some like wild steelhead talk conversation, was it's weird because some regions in the state of Washington, have sport mortality at like real high rates, like 10, 12%. But yet in Region 5 on our wild steelhead rivers, they're asking anglers, and this was put out on Facebook, and anybody can volunteer, whatever. It's not like it's just a few guys doing it, but they can collect scale samples. And I asked the biologist, I said, well, that's strange because with the high mortality rate that we have applied to sportsmen, everywhere, you should have carcasses just laying around everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't understand because according to other biologists in the state, and according to, we'll just call them wild fish idiots, I'm fine with it, that if we're killing 10 to 12% of all the ones we're handling, I mean, if like Bob Kratzer goes and catches, 50 fish on the whatever river he's fishing up there, which he's more than capable of doing, he's killing 5 of them. Like, you are killing 10%. You're killing 10. We're all killing 10%. There should be carcasses everywhere, but they don't get carcasses.
You'd see a
ever.
lot more.
No,
And
So,
you just don't.
but I found out that in Region 5, like, the mortality rates are ran at a much more conservative, like, real level that actually kind of like mimics what is being seen in some of the Northern Oregon rivers.
Mhm.
Like Scott Ammerman was on talking about how that rate is like less than 3%.
Yeah.
And it's weird that ours all mimic that, but then when they need to basically eliminate
Change the
sportsmen and they need
Yeah.
they change the game, that all of a sudden it's 10, 12%. It should be carcasses everywhere. But now there's actually a need for us to take scales because they don't find them.
What do they do with the scales?
Age composition.
Oh, I'm just asking, like, to tell the people.
Age composition, and they can also tell from a scale sample if a fish that was unclipped was actually hatchery or not. And that's another big piece of it too, because a hatchery fish that's unclipped is going to have a larger growth ring at the start of it. They can look at it under a microscope and be able to tell. But they can tell how long these fish are staying out, and then they can also, and from age compositions, they can also start to get an idea of populations.
Yep.
Which is why there's probably a little concern that if all of a sudden we're going to set escapement levels and populations in other regions that are cooked up like they are in other regions, then all of a sudden we have to abide by them. But even though they've never demonstrated the exact like spotting capacities and scientific evidence that goes to for what the escapement levels really should be,
Mhm.
they just kind of took an average mean over a few years and said it should be this. It's like, well, yeah, but I mean,
1 year it didn't
climate-
rain. 1 year it was high
Right.
water.
Well,
1
and
year
then,
there
and
was a
then
bunch
but you know
of
how they
fishing.
get some of
1
the
year nobody came.
population estimates
Yeah.
is from spawning ground surveys, which are only as good as the people surveying them under the conditions that they are
Which is a
surveying
huge
them,
variable.
Yes.
and only if they could actually do it,
Yeah.
like physically, because the rivers aren't blown out. So it's all some real fuzzy math. But either way,
Mhm.
the bottom line is, fortunately for us as wild steelhead anglers, we don't see a lot of dead steelhead.
No.
And I think there is a lot of concern and a lot of admiration for these fish. It's good that we are not killing them. There's no evidence to suggest otherwise, despite what this other region thinks.
Yeah.
There's no evidence that actually shows it. We see how we handle these fish in broodstock, but it's because I think we all kind of try to do our part as anglers. It's really important, but we have a lot of new anglers here. Like we do.
Yes.
And so with us catching a lot of these and seeing a lot of these, there's definitely like certain things we should be doing, certain things we shouldn't be doing. What are you seeing out there right now?
Seeing, majority wild fish. Still a few hatchery fish kind of lurking around, but I mean, kind of like you guys, we're running into mostly wild fish. We're taking scale samples too with them, doing all that number. Yeah, I wouldn't say that, conditions have been the absolute best, but when conditions do allow, we're finding fish. It's not been too much of a struggle, but sorry, can't speak right now. Long day. When conditions allow, it's been pretty good.
Yeah. Seems like we had like no rain. We had a lot of rain.
Yeah.
It's like not very steady, that's for sure.
Yeah, hard to get a stabilizing water condition for the weather that we've had lately.
If you're targeting these streams, because like right now everyone's kind of spreading out. There's a lot of rivers fish versus like when we see, you kind of talked about it being kind of alone, and it's a really good opportunity right now to like spread out, fish a lot of different rivers, fish a lot of different areas. Because we only have a few select rivers that have early stock hatchery steelhead in them anymore.
Yeah.
And one big one missing, I'm just going to say it, is the 𝗪𝗘𝗟𝗪. Considering that, they got rid of that Olay run, that was hundreds of anglers a day. So now they've all moved to other hatchery rivers, but now we're kind of seeing everything spread out. But we have that opportunity to spread out because, like, we're not killing these wild steelhead. Like, we're not. Like, show the other ones. We don't want to lose that. So when you guys catch a steelhead, like, what is like your process, and what is like, so first off, let's talk about like techniques we use to fish them. Do you change anything this time of year versus targeting hatchery steelhead?
I lean away from the bait for sure.
The bait in general.
Yeah, just in general.
Screw that bait, choke every one of them. No, I'm kidding.
Well, that's that joke in line.
My major thing.
I think the choke doesn't really apply to when you say bait for steelhead fishing, and it's something that I could argue with any sort of purist fisherman, that the same amount of mortality or same danger is presented to a fish, whether you're using a spawn sack, a glob of eggs. Maybe not so much as like a diver and a sand shrimp, but that style of fishing is something that we've seen die off a ton. And especially on like Oregon rivers. I mean, the last time I saw somebody back trolling a spin glow and a coon shrimp on an Oregon river was 10, 15 years ago. You know what I mean? You see it a little bit in Southwest Washington when you get some of those more old school guys who have just done it their way for forever, But, using techniques like bobber dog and things like bait or like eggs and again, the jig and shrimp, it's not something I've ever been extremely scared of. Even when we're fishing coon shrimp in the summertime for wild steelhead and getting summers, how often are you seeing a mortally hooked fish, even though they're eating a coon shrimp straight on? Very, very seldom. And even then, some of those fish, you end up still unhooking them safely.
Well, back in the day when the guys used to fish a lot of sand shrimp,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
they would eat them.
But that's
diver and sand shrimp is definitely the way. And what's funny is like the only time I've even seen that when I was doing some wild seal fishing on the Sled River, it's all wilds like that time of year, and saw one boat do it. And basically I went by the boat and I could see that they weren't like, their rods weren't wiggling. It's like,
they're just kind of
that's kind of weird. And then I see him pull up and I'm like, dude, don't be doing that, because honestly this angler just saw a wild seal. I'll just say it because he was a guide. Now he's not a guide anymore. He's gone. Kind of got a little trouble. Go figure. But it's something we don't want to do. So for those of you guys who aren't talking about, when we're backing down little divers, little spinning glow sand shrimp, and the fish is moving this way and you're moving this way, a lot of times what tends to happen is, especially with something, thank you for the super chat, Asa. A lot of times the fish comes up and starts to chew on that bait, but because the rod is loaded to the diver, so the rod's being pulled down by the diver, and then you have this leader that's 3 feet that's like backing up into a fish where it's, the second the fish contacts it, it's putting slack in the line.
Yeah.
But it's not showing on the rod. And so what happens with the technique is that fish can just sit there and just mount and chew. And if it's something really good, like, let's be honest, the sand shrimp, which is probably can't find much better for a steelhead, let's be real, it just gives that fish the opportunity to gut it down. And it's not something that, a lot of guys would really advocate for or do anymore on.
Yeah. So moral of the story, I guess, is what Cameron's getting at is if you are going and targeting specifically wild steelhead or going to a river doesn't have many hatchery steelhead during the time you're there, stray away from those methods that you consciously know are going to hurt a fish. But again, most of those methods, those gaps in those methods are pretty small. I've still fishing all the times with certain friends of ours and you yourself, fishing in the Midwest, all the places we've used spawn sacks or any sort of shrimp, like a selection of shrimp on a hook. I've never seen a steelhead get mortally hooked. Yeah, it's actually impressive how perfectly they get hooked every time. Top lip, corner of the mouth, just the safest way to catch and release a steelhead possible.
Sure.
So
besides a bead, but we'll talk about that in a second.
Right. I was gonna say I think a lot of that has to do with the size of the bait too. It's just a perfect little nickel size morsel.
You don't think it has something to do with where the hook sits on those baits?
I think it matters more so of how the bait's moving. Same with like you see like Brandon, those guys, the Cowlitz guys, they're side drifting bait and eggs.
Yeah,
I think it's because it's moving down. The fish is going to it, grabbing it, and moving back away.
It's just
that they're just naturally grabbing it, but they don't have, because of the force of the water, the force of the tension on the line. They physically can't inhale the bait. It's not coming at them enough. They're only grabbing it, and by the time they understand what's going on, they're already hooked in the side of the mouth instead of taking that all the way.
I cannot think of the last time what I would consider something mortally hooked steelhead. I've caught freaking plenty of them, like over the last few years. I mean, like I can't really do it. And a lot of the techniques too that we're using these days, like beads, pink worms, jigs and pink worms. That hook point is straight up. You tend to hook them somewhere just up in front and nice and high in the mouth. I almost think they almost don't gut pink worms because even I think the second they grab onto it, that bobbers, pulling that, it's not allowing a bunch of slack
for sure
in the line for the fish to just eat and eat and eat.
Yeah, you're pretty much in line with it.
Yeah, so I think you got a lot of good stuff coming there. So a lot of the angler techniques has changed, which is, like I said, another feather in the hat for like, okay, well, why is the mortality rate like so high in certain areas and not in others? Even
in strictly profound bait areas too, we're not, none of us have seen, say, for instance, the one that's closest to us north, that does have a hatchery run. None of us have seen a wild steelhead dead there in a long time. Long time.
I can't think of the last time I saw one. I mean, really, like, honest to God, like trying to think about it.
A dead wild steelhead.
A dead wild steelhead. And for how much we're out there.
I'd say
that's the last time I saw one was on Oregon Coastal River, and it's probably been like 10 years.
Yeah, I was going to say at least
for how much
6
fishing
or 7 years ago. I saw 1 or 2 on my home river that I grew up on. At one of the most popular spots, I think. And it wasn't from a mortality of the fish what they bit. It was from somebody mistreating the fish and taking too long to take a photo. Yep. Nice bright fish on a big bouldery bank, trying to pick it up to take photos, standing up all the way.
Dropped it a few times.
Yep, and then see that's the difference. I can agree. I can totally agree with the placement of the laws in Washington where you're not allowed to remove. I think it should be maybe a little more narrowed. No, let's just keep it the way it is. But I think
it's
some of the salmon stuff where you can get yours truly can get hammered for lifting a fish this far out of the water to show the camera, being so much within the lines of ethics as possible, but still can have somebody jump down your throat and try to get you in trouble for removing a fish. I mean, consciously holding a fish properly and still get in trouble for the removal of the fish. That's a little bit the fact of the matter. What I'm getting at is in Washington, it's illegal to remove a steelhead you cannot keep from the water at all. And I'm fully for that because that keeps that in itself keeps you in the correct position on handling these fish.
Give people an inch. You give people an inch, they take a mile. But it is grounded in a little bit of science, like what you're saying, like where if a fish comes out of the water, this much it's illegal, but this much, but yet when we broodstock them, they come out of the water into the holding tank. They go from the holding tank up the bank out 20, 30, 40, 60 feet into the other holding tank. They get taken from that holding tank put in a truck. They get from that truck, put in there. Oh, and the mortality rate's still like less than 3%, less. And that's so, but because you can't remove the fish this from the wild, you don't have guys dragging them up at the bank, bringing them into sleds or bringing them into drift boats to get a fish, like in the boat. Because everybody who's handled a steelhead knows how much of a pain sometimes they can be able to handle.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think fishermen should cut the leader and leave the hook in a steelhead's mouth, or should you try to remove the hook from the steelhead's mouth? All depends on where it's hooked, Corey.
Yep.
Like, don't, if you do get one that for some reason has, we can talk about this too. You guys want to
Yep.
I don't want to sidetrack because we're on we'll answer that in a second. The holding out of the water part. And the reason why is, like I said, if you see the guys walking him up the bank, dragging him.
I think the big thing you just covered too, pulling them out of the river into the boat to unhook. Putting them on the diamond plate,
or holding them in the drift boat like this.
Yeah.
When we all know who, because one of two things has happened with, I think one of two things has happened with that fish. One, either you've tired them out so much to the point where you actually can physically get that picture.
Yeah.
Or you got that picture while that fish was very hot, and you definitely run the risk of dumping that thing into the bottom of the boat.
Yep.
Like, because it's one of those
it's
two
one of
things.
those two
Hugging
things.
it, taking all
Every
the slime
time.
off the side. I mean, how many times have you seen me climb?
Yeah, the old bear hug.
Yeah, all of it is bad for the fish, especially a steelhead that has to return back to the ocean.
I just get so sick of seeing those pictures. I cringe when I see them.
Me too.
The Southern Oregon.
Well, some of those fish, now let's be honest. Okay, well, that's a good dude. You're on. Because, we also have to say this. There are areas you are allowed to kill unclipped steelhead, and it is 100% legal. So before the internet police come out, because we know the wild fish guys, just watch it. Watch it. Ooh, God, ooh. Some of these areas, you're actually allowed to kill, whether they're wild or not. We'll just say unclipped, adipose, intact steelhead.
There we go. Perfect.
So you also have to be careful when you do see those pictures online, that it could also be one of those areas, which is why it's very hard to be, like I said, Facebook police.
Yeah.
And we've got plenty of those out there. So, plenty of those out there. They're watching right now. But you get what I'm saying. So you also got to be real careful, because some of those Southern, they might have done that picture while the fish is bonk-eyed, because they just bonked it. Because they get it.
Because it's legal.
Or wherever that might be. There's some Washington Coast tribal stuff. It's out there. So something to think about. But oh no, not the internet, please. Yeah. They're all hatchery fish in Washington. Prove me wrong.
What is that?
I said they're all. I just read a comment.
Oh.
What was Caleb's comment? Because now I got sidetracked because we wanted to finish that. That's a good point.
Asked about cutting the line.
Cutting the line.
Depending on where it is.
I think
I would say.
I'll jump right in. If that fish is hooked past the maxillary fin, which is that corner of their mouth, if it's hooked anywhere behind that, which I mean in the tongue, down the throat, in a gill, absolutely, I'll cut it off even with a little bit of line sticking out. And the coating, especially if you're using like our Advantage bead hooks, the coating on those hooks is not to keep it super durable for forever. It's to keep it sharp. I have plenty of times have gotten my box wet and not looked at it until 3, 4, 5 weeks, maybe the next year, and my hooks are all rusted and almost falling apart. And that's not a bad thing. That I almost think that's very conventional. I think it's a great thing to happen to the hook, especially in these situations. If you keep the stuff dry, it'll work forever. Yeah. But in the case of that hook being left in a fish's mouth, it's gonna, by the time they hit the salt again, and especially when they hit the salt again, that thing's gone. It will heal out. But if you take that off, or if you take that hook out, and I think the cold water has something to do with it too. That's why I think the mortality rate on steelhead is so much lower than people think, or so much lower than any salmon, because you notice in the summertime how if you're catching and releasing Chinook, almost every one of them bleeds. And I think it's a water jump. I think that really ice cold water like you see instantly, I think it really helps stop that blood flow. But I'll say it, we'll get back to the point. Anywhere past the maxillary, deep into the mouth, I'm going to cut that line every time. For sure. And usually not try to take it out to cause the bleeding.
And most of the time, like, I couldn't even think, like, even fishing bait, fishing jig shrimp, fishing that, like, it's never taken more than just, like, a few seconds to take the hook out. So it's like, if it's something you got to sit there and, like, dig at and, have the fish's head maybe out of the water while you're trying to like.
Sometimes
That's probably where you're thinking about cutting the hook. And I can tell you from like way back when, not so much with steelhead because, we don't find the carcasses. So
yeah.
But salmon, we would find a lot of salmon. We used to have to like go up and pick carcasses up off the freaking river, and you'd have to like. Sometimes you'd see like a pre-spawn mort where you can find like a gut hooked one or something like that, and we'd always have to wand them. And it's just basically a metal detector. So you'd wand it. The first thing you did is you look real quick in the mouth, make sure there wasn't a hook in there, and you'd have a successfully spawned fish that at some point in time, whether it be like buoy 10 or up in the river, that grabbed a hook, broke a guy off, something like that, still went successfully spawned. Now keep in mind that's with salmon because they all die when they spawn. One-way trip. So that's why you found the carcasses. But again, we don't find many steelhead carcasses, so I don't think it's happened. So cut that hook.
I'm the same way.
Cut it.
Yep.
After you gag them with sand shrimp.
Yeah.
On the wild rivers.
Yep. Every one of them.
Gotcha. Talking about the process for landing a fish too. Hook a fish. You're in your raft. What are you doing?
Depending on the spot.
Or a drift boat. Yeah.
Depending on the spot, I'll either use my scoop or the cradle net. If it's not a spot where I can easily get over to the bank and safely land the fish, I'll land it with the scoop net and then transfer it to the cradle. And it's kind of a specific way to do that without actually physically taking the fish out of the water. But it works pretty well. That's pretty much the process.
Mike H says, is it better to use your net if you're new to handling steelhead instead of messing around with it for so long?
Indeed. I'm not one that's going to pack a net around like you see a lot of guys do on the bank, but a lot of them have that net in their hands 1.5 miles down a trailhead because they've lost fish before, or they just do really want to make the most of their opportunity and make sure that they, especially fishing alone, get that fish. I've, the guys at this table have handled, without being too boastful, the thousands of steelhead over my lifetime so far. And so it's easy for me. You guys, as any skill goes in this world or trade, it looks easy for somebody who's good at it. And the way you see me pull a fish up in a video right to my legs, put my rod in between my legs, grab my line, hold the fish, show you the picture. Yeah. That took 20 years to figure out.
And lots of lost fish.
And lots of broken off fish and lots of clients' fish that weren't even mine. So thousands, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that I landed every one of those, but it took me a lot of time to make it that smooth and to take that little stress, to enforce that minimal of stress on the fish while I'm doing that. It's perfect for me. Their scales don't touch anything. None of their slime comes off when you can do that. But if you want to make the most of your experience and you want to see if they handle the fish, yes, the net is the best way. Me personally, I don't take a scoop net. I haven't for years. Since I got my first addicted landing net. It's for me. If the client loses it right at my feet, then that's just the way it was. Sometimes for like summer steelhead, big Chinook, and small water, I'll take the scoop net because I want to get it done now. But if we're talking wild winter steelhead, if we lose it and I have the leader in my hand, that's just the way it went. We all saw it. We all had fun. And so I don't use the scoop net at all. I use the landing net. I even have figured out ways to use it in the boat. I'll jump in front of my clients. They swing it up, scoop it up.
It gets a little sketchy, but
and it's fish we can't take out of the water anyways. I hold it open for the clients. They look at it, and we unhook it. We get a picture in the water. I dumped a net and I let it swim away. So very little impact on the fish. But a lot of times, like Jason said, given the situation, if I'm on the bank or in the boat, a lot of times we're going to bank this. I'm going to put my boat on anchor. I'm going to hop out in front of the boat, get in the water, and you see most any good guide do this. Get in the water, land the fish with the client, and then safely have everybody get out of the boat to take a photo. So,
yeah, and that's one thing nice about the nets too. Like you said, you don't actually have to tire the fish out to complete exhaustion, unlike a fly rod, which pretty much to land it, most of those guys will tire them out to, which is why they actually have a higher mortality rate than traditional gear. Isn't that amazing?
Maybe we should ban them.
Isn't it amazing? Yeah, you'd think, but we're doing that on our
weird.
But no, I do like to use landing net because I don't think the fish is like necessarily completely exhausted. And then once you also get them in a net, then it's like a little easier to handle. Like sometimes I think if you trying to unhook a steelhead and he just like won't give it up, it's like by the time you actually get him to give it up, or that moment where you can land him, I think that fish is a little bit more tired than what it was. So I think there is definitely like advantages to the net, and like you said, trying to leave the hoop net at home. Yeah, for sure.
The
'Cause
fish, you
at the
can
same
make the
time-
fish stop kicking around in the landing in the addicted nets. And that is the beauty of it. Like if that thing starts freaking out, thrashing, you close it, roll it tight, constrict that fish to where he can feel that pressure on his body in the water, and he'll relax. You open him back up, he starts flopping again, close it, roll it up. Rather than a hoop net, they sit there and they twirl and they splash, and they're all you can look down, you can see all the slime dripping off of the net, even with the safe material. And then you see the bow in that fish. That fish is completely pinched in half a lot of times if you are lifting it up to try to move it around. I just prefer the landing net personally, and that's not a sales tactic.
And so,
That's
like
just
I
the
say,
truth.
before we turn this into a sales pitch, I mean, like you talked about, like where the guy jumps out, lands his net, and it's really nice to have your client like still in the boat because they have the nice high leverage for keeping that head up to ski him in the net, trap it. Once you do, you close that up, fish feels it, and he just goes, "Well, I guess I'm stuck here." Open it up, take your measurement, get the hook out, do whatever you're gonna do, and then it does afford a nice opportunity. Didn't you say you got some videos today
Yes,
of that?
I
Wonder
believe
how we
so.
can do that.
Let me.
How long are they?
Not very long.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I think having that net does help that too. And then like, as well, when you're trying to like have a guy take a picture of it, he caught his first steelhead, anything like that, you get it out, guy can pick up the
we ain't
fish, keep
showing
the
that
fish
one.
in the water, the net spreads out, and when he wants to let it go, he can just dump it right over the pole or right over the poles and it'll let it go. Without dragging it up on the rocks, without dragging it into the shallows or causing any more damage. What's so funny?
Random.
Very random. If I'm
I
starving,
was looking for photos.
yeah. If I'm starving, I'll take a net. I just don't want to pack it. New ADX challenge: landing net only at buoy 10 for a day. Oh my god, landing 360 fish with a freaking landing net.
Or you could
Someone's
do it like
gonna
we did
get
in
hurt.
Chile and just do it with a rope.
What?
I had to lasso the biggest fish that we caught. We never could find a net. There was not a single net in South America that worked, and we couldn't like make anything. We didn't have any good net material to make. So I literally, the biggest fish we got, I did a lasso around my hand, grabbed the tail and put it over, and then pulled it tight so we could like control this 50-pound salmon. You know what I mean? It was crazy. Landed every single one of them by hand.
Best
You
net.
guys will get to see that soon.
I want to see that.
That
cool.
itself, just the rodeo of like what we did, makes it. It's just so half-assed in a way. Like we just didn't have the materials to do what we want, but we went and did it, and we made it happen. So this is cool.
No good.
I wouldn't say no.
I
don't know. You decide.
So best net for a solo angler.
Ooh.
It was that 13-second one.
Your best net for a solo angler.
Best net for a solo angler. I would say that addicted cradle net. That's not being a salesman or anything, but
For a
they
solo
work.
I'm
angler?
going to counter that because I personally have never.
For a solo angler?
I personally.
By yourself?
Yeah.
Ooh, I hate that.
I mean, you definitely have to have the right spot, but totally doable.
I've personally never landed one in one of those nets by myself. Never tried, honestly.
You ought to try. But if you don't have to try, why?
That's a haiku. That's a haiku.
Yeah, first off, I'm pissed that you got a fish out of there because I never get a fish out of that tail out, first off. I know, which is crazy. Second off, no.
Yeah. Didn't think so.
Beads are too small.
These are too small, I guess. Okay.
20
so,
mils pay the bills.
Talking wild seal. So let's see here then. We talked about
Taking them out.
Oh, yeah, maybe we should show that.
Show a picture
there
of
you
a steelhead in that.
So this is kind of the idea, guys, with the landing net. This is not kind of the idea. This is the landing net. Jordan, why don't you demonstrate? Why don't you get out in front of the camera and demonstrate it too? How about that? So first off, it packs up. And for those that don't know what, because you're right, I've seen some questions there. Like for those that don't know what we're talking about, this is what we're talking about. Oh,
Nope, that's me.
saved you. I'm trying to answer some questions there. There you go.
Here it is. Landing net in the flesh.
Can you get it all in there?
Giggity. Giggity.
We heard. So you guys get the idea. It's got 2 poles. It's about 44 inches long because you guys all catch 20-pound steelhead in Oregon, from what I hear. And then you got one end that's not closed off. So there's the open end, that's where you slide the fish into, and then the back end right there is closed off. And the reason why is the head wants to go that way, or you want to put the head in that way, because it doesn't always work out that way, because those little bastards sometimes spin around.
Oh, they do a really fast little spin move in the net.
They see the end of that net, they're like, nope, and they try to turn around.
So the way I do it mostly when I'm using this net, I've kind of taught myself, instead of doing the off to the side and trying to scoop where you have a lot of that loose material, I put the thing right in my stomach or right in my hips if I'm in the water. I open it like this, as wide as it can, just as wide as it can for the angler. I let the whoever, mainly you want to get that fish upriver. So imagine the current's coming from this side. You want to get that fish's head pointed upriver, turn it, get it on its back or just onto its side, and then lay it right into the net. And as soon as that fish gets into the net, the head of the fish should go right into my legs or into my stomach, and all I do is close it. Simple as that. If they really start thrashing around, I'll just kind of do one little roll here and hold it. That's when that pushes that fish tight in there. Keep it kind of pointed down towards the end that's closed, and you got.
And keep in mind, guys, it doesn't like constrain the fish from moving.
No, not
what
at
it
all.
does is that when all that material is like floating there in the net, the fish will sit there and feel that it's like, okay, I'm caught. It's not like a big hoop net where the fish can sit there and spin circles and try to like look for ways out. Once they get kind of in there, they just kind of hold in there.
But you're lifting it up a little bit, right? So it actually starts to cradle. You're not like leaving it deep and like.
No, you can leave it in the water just like that, just as long as you don't let that fish turn around.
Yeah, show that picture to that camera and just kind of go right up to the screen there, because I don't think we have our stuff
You
today.
can text it too.
You guys can get the idea. Back up a little bit, see if it'll get focused. But you guys can kind of get the idea there. The fish is still completely in the water.
The dark spot around the fish is water.
Yeah, so the fish is in the water just chilling there waiting to get.
Come on, focus.
What'd you catch that
Oh,
fish
yeah.
on? I want to see what you caught that fish on.
What do you think I caught it on?
I don't know. It does, and somebody asked, does it float? And the answer is yes, it does. The handles are meant to float, and that's what also gives everybody.
And there are weights inside the open end of this, so it sinks down and it doesn't float up
Falls
while
in the
you're
water.
trying to net that fish, which is very, very important.
It's got hooks for a scale.
Yes, it does.
So show them that.
Huh?
But you technically
hooks for the
couldn't even
scale.
do that in Washington. Right?
Yep, we got the 2 hooks right here. You can slide the scale through.
Just have the little
Lift
guy
up.
jump in the net.
Hey,
How do you know you're signing me?
And then,
We fit Haley
I
in
mean-
one year.
definitely the smallest person
Oh,
here.
that's right. I remember.
tape measure on the bottom.
Tape measure on the bottom right there. See it?
Up to 44 inches.
Bodie fo.
Basically, it's the heartbreaker.
Can't want that big.
Yeah.
That's a mount. That's a mounter.
Yeah, so when we're talking about the cradle net, guys, there's other cradle nets out there. There's some that are made for muskie. There's some you can get whatever. But at the end of the day, just trying to do the part on making sure that when you're landing the fish and you're trying to get a photo opportunity and you're trying to make it easy for someone to do that, it is not easier to land a fish in a cradle net. Just to be 100% clear. A lot of people are like, oh, that's the dumbest thing ever. That's impossible. Yeah, you're right. It is. It's a pain. But again, it's also probably the best way. The material that's also in the net is also it's a rubber coated net. So one thing I noticed too is you can put a fish in there, do your thing, let it go. You lift it up. It's not just dripping in slime and scales laying in the net and all sorts of stuff, because it's not descaling the fish. So
Fish looks
And
like
you
it
can
did
get the
before it
hooks
hit
out
the
a
net.
lot better.
you get the hooks out a lot better than that other material.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It is new and improved.
No wooden handles anymore. So because what's that?
We have both.
Yeah, we do have both, but the other ones are
Mass produced.
very difficult. The wood handle ones are very difficult to source because they are literally hand whittled. We'll say whittled,
Yeah.
not whittled, but they're hand carved, handmade, hand stitched, hand attached. The netting attached to the handle. It is a very meticulous process, and it is very expensive. So we are coming out with a more mass-produced one. I'm sure we've shown it in videos. so
Yeah.
far. So you guys have seen it in some of the videos. We're using them out there, and they work fantastic. And yes, but I know on special trips we're always carrying our wooden ones.
Yep.
So if you're one of those guys that wants hand stitched wooden, super nice, we'll still have those available, and we still are making them. We still
They
sold a
are
bunch of them
available.
at Puyallup.
Just a little harder to get your hands on
A
sometimes.
little harder to get your hands on, a little harder for us, and then we get where's the damn landing nets? And I was like, oh,
Mhm.
yeah, that's the way it goes.
They're in stock.
When are these going to be available? They are not in stock. That is a
Not
lie.
the new ones.
Oh, the
wood
old ones. I'm like, that's a lie. Shut up, and it's a sore subject. No, they're it will. The new ones will be in stock when we get them. The old ones are there. Email Matt at Mustang. Yeah. So that's kind of the take on the landing nets. Is there anything you guys also want to talk about as far as wild steelhead goes? Bite times, leaders, I think that's also something to talk about a little bit because.
I mean, I always try and get the fish in as soon as I possibly can.
I think a good thing to talk about would be just proper technique for getting a photo.
Yeah.
I think that's something that falls in line with the landing net. That is probably one of the more inspiring factors for Marlin to come out with this net and for Cameron was, especially when you are targeting wild steelhead and you're hunting for a big one. If you're going out with the mindset of I want to find a big steelhead, whether you're in Washington, Oregon, British Columbia, or in Alaska, you're going to want to be able to properly handle a wild steelhead that is a big size. You can't trying to get a photo of a 20-pound steelhead in a hoop net is a nightmare. It really is. Trying to get that thing maneuvered out. He just walked in.
I need him to ban someone.
Oh, he's doing it probably.
Marlon, what? I need you to ban someone.
But the proper technique and the ability to grab that fish by the tail and the head at the same time and then just simply lift it up out of the net with no obstructions, with no bars or anything in the way of the edge of the net is huge. And then just mainly, I guess, something that should be said is even with a fish of a lifetime, one thing I've told people, especially if it's one of your first winter steelhead and you're not the best at holding one of these fish like that, have the person who's running the camera go take a video.
Yes.
That's one of the biggest thing I've seen, especially if you want to do it and you want to do it right and you want to take the best care of a fish that you can. Have that person who's taking the photo, instead of clicking, have them go to a video, have them step back in position, make sure everybody's ready, go to lift that fish, and if it does kick, let the thing go.
Yep.
Let it go and let it fall, because at some point in there, you'll be able to
got
stop
the
that
frame.
video, take a screenshot, and have the picture that you really want.
Still frame is definitely the move sometimes.
Yeah. And so I think that's that you should go up and show this, just the technique. Best way to hold a fish, you guys, is hand over, thumb pointed back towards you with your hand covering that front side of the tail. And then where you place your left hand or your right hand, that's going to go under that fish's mouth and under the gill plate is very important. Oh, there we go. Do it, Jason.
Oh, here we go.
Hand model.
Everyone's like, thank you, Marlon.
So show them one of the ways where, just show them the bad way first. Like when somebody's holding one. Exactly.
Bad. Bad.
Do the hug, the fish hug. The fish hug.
Do not do this. Do not do this.
Fins will break easy, so be careful.
Proper. Just like this. Back
Tuck-
behind.
It's out of the water right now.
Oh boy. Hold on.
Well, we don't have a dunk tank. yet.
Below the camera line.
That's
there we
There
go.
we go. That's the water. That's
Bam.
actually true.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
there.
Fins have to be touching. Now, if you're Oregon, go ahead and lift it up a foot because
Oh,
the mortality,
yeah, we
the
got 'em,
mortality
boys.
rates
The head's got to go
less
up more.
in
Head's gotta
Oregon.
go up
So
more like
go
that.
ahead and just hold it up. I mean,
Yeah.
Couple things too, one thing that drives me kind of crazy. Keep demonstrating with that fish for me.
Oh.
You're doing a great
Okay.
job, Vanna.
Okay.
Don't with your fingers on the belly of the fish, slide them up to where it hits the pec fins towards its head,
Mm-hmm.
and then also see how your fingers are wrapped up and around.
Towards you more.
Suck your fingers back. No, other way. There you go. Boom. Now you see the fish.
Uh-huh.
Difficult to do. Not as difficult in the landing net.
Well,
Fish
there
skirts
is
away
a
from
ridge
whatever.
on a smaller steelhead. It's a little bit harder, but in anything over like 10 pounds, a fish that you're going to be
And long arm that puppy.
Yeah.
There we
Oh,
go.
look how much bigger it is.
Look at me
Holy
there.
crap.
Oh,
It's as big as
boy.
me.
You're like,
There you go.
are you land shark?
All right, am I good?
Yep. One thing, there's a ridge on any fish over probably 8 or 9 pounds. There's a ridge that runs from the bottom of their scale or the bottom of their gill down to basically their anal fin. Excuse me. No, I was just having a brain fart. The anal fin. And if you can get your hand right in that ridge, just above those pec fins and in between the gill plate, while keeping your hands out of the gill plate, I think that's even it's just dangerous no matter what. It's not fatal to have your hand go just up inside that gill plate, but it's just good practice not to do it. Then if you want to post it on the internet in any kind of form or something, it'll keep you from getting harped at and getting chewed out by
the
other
guy says don't
purists,
squeeze behind. And so the whole point of not having the fingers up where guys are squeezing is to let the fish just lay flat on the hand. So you're not like, oh god, death grip it. Yeah, you're not doing that. No, that's why I think if you have those fingers drawn a little more flat and it's more just resting on your hand.
Oh, look at this.
Lonnie, we're floating this weekend.
Lonnie's in the house.
What?
Take your pick. Where are we going?
Lonnie Brooks.
Not to the home river.
Hey, guy.
You ready to catch some
You're rowing if we're going to the home river.
We'll get a report on Friday.
Okay. We'll get a good report so that they caught them all and we can go.
That's what I was thinking. I immediately thought that. I was like, dang it.
Stoked to go fishing with you, buddy.
What if he catches like 10 though? Then it's like
probably
go because there's more. The river's going to be high no matter what, so there should be fresh fish filter in there.
There will be fresh fish.
That's what I'm saying.
Will be.
So it won't matter. Plus, we're better.
I think that's a loaded question. Jordan, do you have a corned beef hash recipe that uses salmon or trout instead?
Ooh.
You already know it.
Do you hold a boot differently than you would hold a crow?
You got a recipe? I didn't know that.
I made it at the Sportsman show, yeah.
Oh, that's right. It was a
smoked
bomb.
salmon hash.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was really good.
It is very, very good. I would give it a try if you get the opportunity. Very good recipe. Anyways.
Let Clint explain. What is Clint explaining?
How to hold a wild steelhead.
Clint's never caught a winter steelhead.
Oh my gosh, dude. Do you have him on at the calendar this year? Can I buy a seat for Clint, please?
Well, the problem is nobody else can fish them, so you have to buy all the seats.
Okay, deal. We got to get Clint on a... Actually, it would be funny for me to go and just mop every fish. Just get in the hole before. Just absolutely get every fish so he doesn't catch anything.
And you know what you could do? You could be like my guys yesterday. You could do it from the back of the boat.
Yeah, just overcast.
I haven't told you that story yet.
I had a trip like that once. There was a guy brought his buddy, and his buddy like flew out from New York or something. Was still working on his first steelhead, and this guy, it didn't matter. They both fished the same worm, same bead. They because one guy was nailing him. He caught 3 at the boat ramp, and like get to the next hole, and he like cast in first, hooked the fish. I'm like, I'm not gonna tell him not to. He's the the guy paying for the trip. We get down to like one of the best holes in the last like hole of the day. He's like, I didn't really want him to catch fish, and I'm like, well. He casts right in front of him, drains.
I got another one. This is easy.
He's like explaining to me how much he wants his buddy to catch a fish, and I'm like, well, quit casting in front of him.
I'm doing a really good job of putting you around him. Don't do it.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Who's Clint? Yeah,
have to do a Clint episode. Clint, catch and cook.
Dude, I must say my sheds look pretty good on the table.
Dude, where'd you get this one?
Okay, always have the sun in your face in the back dictate. Oh, one last thing is, and it happened to me yesterday. Like, caught plenty of fish, but got this one fish that was just in a really bad spot. And there was no shore. Little wild fish, nothing crazy, nothing we hadn't caught before that day.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we ended up doing, we'll do that before we say. What we ended up doing is I just brought him inside the boat.
Pop.
Reached down. It was on a bead. I caught fish on bait. Reached down the bead.
Lies.
Popped it out. Just let it go.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Like, sometimes you just don't have to get a picture of every last one.
No.
I know. When I went with Jordan, he caught a beautiful fish. I would have taken a picture of it.
Yeah, just...
But we had just taken scale samples off it, and he was like, yeah, we've had this fish long enough, and you just let it go. Didn't take
Marlon
pictures.
still took pictures of both his fish.
Oh yeah, for sure. Both mine got pictures taken.
He got really pretty.
Any
so I would've
moose
taken that
sheds in the
picture.
pile?
I would have taken those
Just
pictures
one.
too.
We got no G there.
I mean, they're pretty relaxed when they're sitting there in that cradle net.
I'm not gonna lie, it was
There.
26 degrees. I didn't want to touch the fish.
It was so cold.
Like, see you later.
It
Ow.
sucked. Yeah, it was cold.
The water was
Liner gloves.
Yeah.
It don't matter. Yeah. Cool.
Liner
Let's-
gloves and wristers.
Yeah. Oh, that's the last thing. Let's talk about gloves real fast. And I mean, what do you have on your hands when you handle a wild steelhead?
nothing.
Nothing.
Yep, I'm a barehanded bear.
You don't have your
man.
wool gloves on?
I take them off first.
Is it because that's wise, or you just want to have your hands wet later?
It's very wise.
Very wise. Why is it
Yeah.
wise?
And I don't want to have my hands wet later. Because anything, what kind of gloves do they use that does not pull the? Is there a glove at all? Isn't
Nurture gloves.
Nitrile gloves.
no? I thought there was a fabric glove that people use.
Oh, I don't know.
Mm,
For what?
Like a fabric glove.
They're all okay. Well, my question, but why I asked that is because I was just trying to see if it was correct that there is any material that is good to touch a fish with. My point is there is no good material to be grabbing a wild steelhead with. There's a lot of material that helps you hold on to them, but even those mesh gloves, the ones with the holes in them that seem like kind of like a net, the fact of you grabbing, holding, and getting that fish to thrash around, better to have that thing slip out of your hand and go back into your cradle net or into your net and try again. Then grab it with something that, or you see a lot of people use bait towels and different stuff to try to grab onto the tail of that fish. It does help a lot, but it does not help the fish. So
mhm.
it's
You
best.
get your hands wet before you grab them.
Hands are always wet before I grab them. No, yeah, it's a good thing to get your hands wet, dip them in the water before you take a picture with that fish. Too.
How do your hands not get wet if you're trying to grab them in the water?
That's my point.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
kind of
Well,
joke.
no, if
Stupid
you have the
question,
net,
Clint.
Oh, no. What was that, Clint? Keep going.
Yeah, the
If you like lift the fish out of the water, which you're not supposed to do.
illegal.
no, you can lift the net up and still have the head in the water. Like if you're gonna go grab.
Oh,
it,
and then just the body, you just with a dry hand grab the tail. Okay.
Yeah.
The wet hand thing for me is more for trout because you're touching the entire body of the fish. Like wetting your hand before you grab a 12-inch trout is much more important than grabbing the tail section of a steelhead. Because again, odds are if you're in a state you can't take them out of the water, you're going to grab that fish, and your hand's going to have to go in the water anyways. But
Yeah.
it is a good method to wet your hand first.
wear your wool gloves then.
No.
Yeah,
Clint, shut up.
nurture or
Shut
bare hands. Definitely.
All right.
move.
Any more questions on wild steelhead? It's 8 o'clock. It's past my bedtime.
Clint gets his hands wet before he puts them in the water. That's literally what he was
That's
asking.
what I was trying to like clarify.
That
He
was the question that you
actually
asked.
gonna say that. I was
The
just
only
like,
reason he's asking
No,
is because
no,
he's never
no.
caught a wild
no,
steelhead.
We'll talk about this on your
I
trip,
feel
buddy.
like somebody else was asking.
We'll talk about this on
You're
your
like
trip,
trying
buddy.
to put it off on one of the viewers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, that's I'm like, I want
I'll just ask him to the
clarification.
viewer.
Time out. We need to hear this. Time out. What
New
was that,
addicted
Clint?
kill bag, the Clint bag.
What was that? How do I get a guy to trip with Clint?
Well,
That would be.
he's about to get his
That'd be so funny.
bad bow.
Just, oh yeah, you can get one soon.
He's
You
starting.
can
He's
get one
starting off
soon.
crabbing trips.
It's gonna be chrome obsession.
Cool,
Ooh,
cool, bud.
I like
Chrome
it.
obsession.
How about
Catching.
gone catching
Yeah.
obsessions?
Yeah.
No,
I was
I've
gonna say.
already LLC Cameron Black Guide Service. That's what I'm gonna name it.
Perfect. Perfect.
What if somebody did do that? You couldn't really do anything to them.
no,
I can tell them right now. They want to spend the money on that. Go for it, because I know how much it costs now to actually do it right. Yeah. Good luck. I wonder how they could though.
I wonder why. Like you probably
Well,
couldn't
probably
sue
could.
him.
Probably not.
We shouldn't have talked about this
Well, I
live.
know. Oh, wow. Oh, great. The wild fish idiots. Here they
Wait
come.
till you see my rap.
Wait till you see my rap.
It's gonna be
dude, you
Cameron
should
serving
put
up a
cry
beef.
cam on it huge. The cry cam thing that you made.
Oh,
just-
just so for clarification, like if that were to happen, I would welcome that with open arms because then it would just be flipping war.
Yeah.
Like it would be.
It would
I am
be
the most
war.
vindictive son of a bitch.
Everyone knows that.
Let's go. Let's do this. Go ahead.
That's no
Oh my
surprise.
god! Exactly. Yeah.
Well, let's
you
do
know.
one more giveaway.
Let's do one more giveaway.
We're gonna go to bed.
Yeah. How many? I don't know. Giveaway. How many people are you guys showing up to the Portland show
There's
with
two
your
more-
addicted
two
gear
more
on?
tickets, he said.
Boom.
Yep.
How many people are showing up to the Portland Sportsman show with your addicted apparel on? Let's hear it. While you guys are chiming in on that, couple completely off-topic subject, because I know there's a bunch of you guys in here, because we know who's watching.
No chromosomes,
We know
guide service. That's hardcore.
Wow.
That's way hardcore. That just made me sweat. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
What were you saying?
Anyways, if total sidetrack note, but we are talking wild steelhead, so there might be a few of you guys. If you are a guide in the Columbia River area, tributaries, Oregon or Washington, just want to put this out there. We want your feedback. We want your input. Washington Guide Association starting a Columbia River chapter like this for the guides out there. I know you're out there. I know you're watching. We can see who's watching, so you have to sign up. If you don't, I'll message you. If you just see it, I know there's probably like 3 of you. But
Isn't it guides
anyway.
and anglers, so anyone can sign up? Isn't that what you said it's called?
It's Guide Association. You do not apply.
I
You
thought
can't be
said
in our
guides
club.
and anglers.
Washington State Guides Association, Columbia River chapter. If you guys are in there and you're not putting input into your local decision makers or your local elected officials, or if you're just kind of not doing anything and want to be informed, please fill out the form, jump in, get involved. We're going to do some pretty extensive polling. We've already got a ton of people signing up in there today. We just made this live. We'd love your input. We'd love your involvement. That's all I'm going to say. If it applies to you and you're an Oregon guide, it is free for the first year, so anybody can sign up. And then we have drug programs and everything like that to start January 1 for you. So, anyways, there you go. That's all I'm going to say, because if you know, you know. Select the winner.
Do it.
Got to.
What are you giving away?
Tickets.
2 more tickets.
Oh,
Two more
sweet.
tickets. The 𝗛𝗘𝗟𝗣 Jiggies.
Let's give away.
What the hell?
Let's give away. Pick 2 winners, Clint.
Where's the Jiggies?
In a box.
In my box.
Dude, that works.
Yeah, it
𝗛𝗘𝗟𝗣
does.
Jiggies. Where the hell are the 𝗛𝗘𝗟𝗣 Jiggies? You need to start tying your own jiggies out your own like locks of your hair. Oh my gosh. When are you gonna make a hair jig like out of your hair?
We got to do a video.
Is
It would actually work
would
really good for the twitching, for the trout twitchers.
Oh,
That would be just
yeah.
fine. They could easily
Long
catch a
curly,
fish.
but you can
You
do more
gotta
steelhead
use,
jigs.
you gotta use some of your like beard hairs too
For
like
hackle?
yeah.
Yeah, do a little,
The collar's the
dubbing
beard
loop.
hair, kind
Dubbing
of growing
loop.
out a little bit.
Yeah.
How much would you pay for a 𝗛𝗟𝗣
Ooh,
Jiggy
limited drop.
hair?
2 of 2.
Yeah. How many? Yeah. How much would you pay for a 𝗛𝗟𝗣 Jiggy?
Let's
A
see
lot.
it.
A lot. Am I late to the game? Yeah, Lucas, you are. But you can always go back live on the YouTube channel, check it out. What was the Stay Fishy today? You're probably uploading it now, aren't you?
No, it's up.
Oh,
It's
what
up.
was it?
It's fishing and camping and exploring fucking caves.
Caves. Cool. Fishing, camping, exploring caves
Yep.
is the.
Oh yeah, I have a microphone, don't I? Whoops.
Yeah, you're on. You're on.
Whoops.
No, we went out.
Pick a winner, we're
and-
leaving.
Yeah,
I'm
Basically,
kidding.
you guys need to go watch the Stay Fishy because it's a good one.
it's
do you want
a
to
really
do
good one.
do you want to do one more Portland? Sell.
No.
Okay.
I think we got.
Pick a winner.
People.
Or Stay Fishy. Sorry.
Just come
Yeah,
to the
no, it's all
Portland
good.
Sportsman Show. It's going to be absolutely epic. And if you do not come there, you are going to wish that you did.
Carlos says, "Yeah, buddy."
It's going to be epic. And wear your addicted apparel. We want that entire show full of addicted apparel.
We have over.
Oh, also, bring your kids to our booth. We have free coloring books. We have free coloring books that we'll be giving out the entire show to all the kids that come to the
We
booth.
should do a coloring book competition too.
We will once we give out free coloring
Okay.
books.
That's a good call.
Yeah, because
That's
they're
a good
cool.
call.
They're cool coloring books. Even the moms and dads out there are gonna like them as well.
Yeah. Come by the booth, free coloring books.
That's your
What else do we do at the booth?
Carlos, you won. What's that? I don't know, man. There's always shenanigans and stuff going on.
Anything at the booth, Clint, that I'm missing?
Lots of merch.
Stickers, custom plug.
Carlos, while Clint's thinking about that, because
Meet and
hold on,
greets,
Clint's
photos.
going to think about it really quick. And Carlos, you're going to email orders@addicted.fishing.
Portland
Make sure you
Trout
include-
Derby, I'm coming for you, Jordan.
Make sure you include your
Look at
name
that.
and
Sam.
address and let us know that you won tickets to the bash.
Sam didn't like losing.
No, he didn't. But he didn't have a choice.
You
As
made
soon as
it
I walked
happen.
in the
As soon
room,
as you
he
walked in.
lost.
For those that don't know,
Victoria's
we had
driving 9 hours.
We had 50 people in the trout pond after hours for an industry competition. And it was elimination rounds. The first 3 fish over the rail progressed to the final. And then we got to the final. And I think Ken from Coldwater scored the first kill.
Uh-huh.
And then, like, Sam got one. And then you, like, came in and freaking boom, boom. And it was 2 to win. And Jordan took first prize out of 50 people in the trout pond. Of course. in the trout pond.
I sure did.
So dirty.
Look at
You won $500.
Nathaniel
Bull.
said he's going to come to the Portland show for the pink addicted beads. 'Cause
Pink
they're
addicted
smash. He's been sending me pictures all week.
Very cool. All right. We will see you guys at Portland starting Wednesday. I'm sure we'll
Clint,
no
you were
live
supposed
feed
to
next
pick 2
week, but we'll
winners.
go live. We will make sure we go live at the Portland show Wednesday night for something cool.
Clint's picking another winner. I told him to pick 2.
I still whipped you with a bamboo rod and you liked it. Oh, Fishing Friday and beyond.
There's our second winner.
Very cool.
Email orders@addicted.fishing. Make sure you include your name. Let us know that you won the Addicted Bash tickets, and we'll get you on a list at the door.
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. You guys know the drill. We'll see you next week at the